Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. My name is Nikhil Rana, and today we will be learning how we can set up Python in our system. Right. So first of all, I would like to tell you that for executing or for setting up Python, we will need two softwares. One is the Python itself, and second one would be the code editor, which you will be using to execute Python code. And that code editor can be any of the editors present in the market, or if you already know that that code editor is better, or some code editor which you are already used with, right? So that is what the code editor you can set up. But in this video, we will be looking for VS Code, Microsoft Visual Studio Code. That is what we will be uh, using, right? So let us start and see how we can download and install Python as well as the code editor required for that. Yeah, so let me share my screen. Okay, so we'll go to VS Code, and in this we are going to write here Python download, right? And yes, this is the link where you will be downloading the Python. And this is the official Python website. You can see here that this is python.org download section, right? And from here, you can easily download Python. So click on this button, and you can see in the download, it will be downloaded in a second. Yeah, so yes, it is there. Now, this is the Python, and if I just double click on it. Yeah, one thing which you have to take care of is you need to make sure that you check this option, add python.exe to path, before clicking on install now. Now, why I'm saying this? Because if you don't do this, after you install VS Code or any editor, you need to make sure that you have set up Python into environment variables path, right? So just make sure that you check this option. You can check this one. It is optional, use admin privileges. If it is your system, right, you are the admin, that you don't need to check this, right? But make sure that you check this option. It's required, right? Otherwise, Python will not get properly configured with your VS Code. Okay, so after that, you can click on install now. So this is the latest version of Python, which is 3.12.3, right? 3.12.3, right? So it will just take a little time to install. In the meantime, let us install and download VS Code. So what you have to do is, again, you need to go to browser. You need to just write VS Code download, right? So this is the official link of for downloading VS Code. Click here, and you will be directed to this website from where you can easily download it for Windows. Right. So specifically for this video, we are talking about Windows only. But I think this is the step also for downloading it on and installing it on your Mac as well, right? So in that case, you just have to make sure that you search the software for Mac. Right. Basically, if you search on Mac system, it will automatically redirect you to the softwares for Mac, right? Just like here it is download for Windows. So there you will get download for Apple, right? On Mac. So that is what you have to look for. And you need to click on download for Windows here, and it will get downloaded in the background. So let us check if our Python software has been installed. Yes, it has been installed. You can see here that setup was successful, and you can close it. That's it. So Python is quite easy to install, as well as your VS Code, which is the editor here, right? So it is getting installed in the background. Yes. So once you are done, sorry, it was getting downloaded in the background, not installed. So here it is, VS Code user setup. You can see. You just need to make sure that if your system is 32-bit, but I don't think in nowadays 32-bit systems are coming, right? So I think you would be good to go with the 64-bit. So you just need to double click on it, and you need to accept the agreement. Click on next. Here the VS Code next, VS Code next. That's it. If you want to, no need to check any of these options, that is fine. Click and install. So it is very simple installation. And yes, it will also take a little time to get installed into your system. And we can close this downloads folder as well as the browser. Yes. So once VS Code gets installed, we will see how we can configure Python to be used in VS Code, right? So you can see here that it is already checked here, launch Visual Studio Code. So I don't think right now we need to do it. So let us uncheck it and click on finish. That's it. Right now, I was telling you about how we can configure Python to be used used in VS Code so that VS Code can understand the Python code and execute it. Actually, a VS Code is a generic editor. Generic editor means that it can be used for multiple languages. It can be used for C, C++, R, Python, Java, right? HTML, C, any of the languages. It is a generic editor. And what we have to do is, let us open VS Code. You can search here VS Code. You can see it is there. Right? Click on it. And here it is. Yeah. Okay. So this is the user interface of VS Code. And this we will see how we can um, configure Python with it. Okay. Now on the left hand side of the screen, you can see there is an extensions option. This second last one. Click on it, and here you will find out Python. You need to look for Python extension. And the Python extension which you need to look for is has been developed by Microsoft. So this is the extension which you need to look for. And what you're supposed to do is, see, it is already installed in my system. What you have to do is, if I just uninstall it, you will see that you need to install this uh, Python extension, right? So because it is already installed in my system, that is why I'm getting it uninstall button. So once you have downloaded and installed the Python and VS Code fresh into your system, you will get an option of install here. So you click on that button and it will be installed in your system. No problem. And second extension, which I always recommend to use, is CodeRunner. Click on it. See, it is also already present in my VS Code. Now, what does this extension do? This extension helps us in writing the code. You can see in its description that this extension runs C, C++, Java, anything, right? It actually gives you the recommendation while writing the code so that sometimes it happens that you forget the code, you forget the syntax, or you forget the inbuilt functions, right? So it helps you in that. It is not required for Python, but yes, I would recommend it that if you have such a code runner like extension installed in your VS Code, then it will surely help in writing the code, right? So it's my strong recommendation that you can go for it. But if you don't want to, that is also not required. Fine. Okay. Now, one more thing which you need to make sure is that, okay, that's it. Thank you. Thanks. This was installation. And let us see if Python has been correctly installed in our system or not. So how do we do that? You go to file and you go to new file. See, it is already giving you Python file, right? So I'm selecting this Python file and I'm just writing a very simple code, print. So I'll just see if Python has been working in my system or not. I'm just writing a print hello, right? Simple. See, this is the work of code runner. It gives you the suggestions, it gives you the definitions of all of the functions you write, right? You need to save it. Let us say save it on desktop. This will give it the program one, right? And the extension for it is already saved, which is Python extension, right? And because if you see in starting, we selected Python file. So that is why it has been automatically a Python extension. Okay, click on save. It has been saved. You can see program1.py. So .py is the extension for Python. Okay, now how to execute this? on the right hand side on the top, you can see here this is a run code button. So once you click on it, see output is there, hello. That is what we wrote here. That means print hello. So that is what the output we are getting. So Python is getting executed and we are getting the result fine. That means the installation of Python and VS Code was successful. And that is what the agenda of our video was, right? So that's it for today. Thank you.